Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures in 2020. And I figured we'd start the new year off by recapping on what I thought were my favorite models of 2019. And this gorgeous boy in front of you is none other than Creature Caster's Orc Forge Lord, which may come as a surprise. This is probably one of my favorite models that was released in 2019. And it's odd because I'm not really even a big fan of orcs. I've never been a big fan of the green skins, but something about this model really spoke to me. I love the giant plume of smoke coming off his huge, crazy robot arm. There's just a lot of colors I threw in there, which isn't usually like me, and I have painted my fair share of stuff like the Flash Gits and freebooters and various orcs of many stripes from GW over the years. But this guy I really liked, and I thought he was a really cool looking model. And this is actually kind of surprising because, I mean, I've built just about every single Creature Caster model that came out in 2019 and painted a good chunk of them, other than the Queen of Ecstasy and the King of Ruin, which obviously are going to be on my list of things to get done this year. But I really dug this guy. And he's just the perfect size. He's not too big, not too small. In addition to him, I thought that Raging Heroes Blood Tribe ladies were quite the awesome models. And I just grabbed a random one, but I think she's one of my favorite that I painted. I think the colors ended up pretty distinct on her. Despite their flatness and their very two-dimensional plainness, I really think that the models are quite exciting to look at, and they fit in pretty well with GW's Warcry. Oh, what were they called? Oh, crap. I don't even remember what they're called. The Bone Dudes. The dudes are in the starter set. Whatever they're called. I don't care. Bone Dudes. Barbarian Dudes. So, those two. And let's see. What else? Malifaux's first offering for 3rd edition, Marshall Base Reeves, if that was his name. I know it's based on the real person. I really liked this sculpt too. Not as dynamic as the hat-tipping version from Wild West Exodus, but overall a cool-looking model despite his plain and generic stance and my shoddy paint job. But he's painted and he looks decent, so whatever. He was probably my favorite Malifaux model that came out this year, and I mean, as soon as I unboxed him, it was straight to the painting table with him. Let's see, any other models I have? Ah, yes. Baron Tunglick, I believe that was your name. He's just awesome. I unfortunately broke the arrow that was attached to his hat, but he's just a cool looking dude. I mean, how many fancily dressed pimpin' frog people can you have on the table? Not that many. Not enough, I should say, either. So we'll stick him with the pile. Another one that I really enjoyed too much that I have to hit the camera was... Get that back under control. The Lord Executor from Parabellum's Conquest. I liked that he had the optional faces. He has, obviously, the very blank faceless mask there, and he's been painted up in my OCR Bone Reaper colors, but that's neither here nor there. I like the style of the model, and I thought he came out pretty decent. And the quality of the details on this guy versus the plastic ones were like night and day. Really cool model. And some honorary mentions. I figure we got all of the non-GW stuff here. Let's see what I really liked this year from GW. First of all, and this shouldn't come as much of a surprise to anybody, but the Bone Harvester from the OCR Bone Reapers. This guy was like, as soon as I saw him, I knew I had to have it, and I knew I was going to be starting an OCR army, or at least a Warcry warband, which hopefully they'll be getting rules for in the near future, hopefully this year. So, very quick and easy paint job. I did use some contrast to at least get things started and went back up and touched them up if you haven't seen it. And other GW models that I really enjoyed this year, Mr. Tor Garadon. And I have no idea why. Something about this model and his goofiness with his oversized hand and his hunched over shoulders and head and ridiculously sized gun and little shield there and stomping on the floor of the ruins. I really like this guy. Overall, to me, he's like the most complete package of all of the new Primaris heroes. I really enjoyed him. And the contrast paints helped immensely get all that work done. Let's see. And speaking of the dudes from Warcry, I really liked this guy. He's supposed to be the champion. I still can't remember their names. but that's okay. I'm sure somebody will remind me, or I'll remember as soon as I finish this. And I thought he came out pretty decent. I don't think I used any contrast. I don't remember. You have to go back and watch one of those weekly painting progress videos because I don't actually know. Not to be outdone, we have the Shrike from that other board. God, I can't remember their names right now. It's been so long, but I thought this was a really cool model, and I actually did try to put some effort into making it look decent. Whether or not that was actually attained, I don't know, but he's done. And last but not least, we got good old Drazar, and despite my sealer ruining it and kind of foaming and milking up the details there, I still like that he's quite the colorful model and came out pretty nice. So those would be my top picks if I had to limit myself to, did I pick 10? I think I tried to pick 10. Yeah, I did pick 10. These would be my 10 models of 2019. And of course, there would be a bunch of honorary mentions. Sadly, I looked for only models that were released in 2019, not just stuff that I painted in 2019, because otherwise there would have been a whole bunch of Kingdom Death and deep cut stuff. But that's my top picks for 2019. And hopefully this year has just as many interesting and exciting and varied models for the tabletop. That said, this is High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities Miniatures. Saying thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back here this year too. Bye-bye.